Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going over the best pay to win team, the best free to play team, and then the best fully free to play team in this Titan Reaver. The good news is you don't have to get a very high score to get all of the rewards in this one, only up to 370 million. Which shouldn't be too difficult. Okay guys, so let's begin by going through the pay to win team, which was come up with by Atraxi, so credit to them. This is going to be the team formation for the Lone Gaze first boss. Sonja, Sinbad, Shakira, going to be all grouped up, and basically Kruger to increase the damage from physical damage dealers. Team number 2 is going to be your magic team against the Snow Stomper. Lily May will be trying to dodge the Snow Stomper as much as possible. And then OD as well for the damage choice. So let's go ahead and lock in these teams and begin the run. Okay, so this team has gotten around about 1.1 billion damage today as a maximum score, I believe. Sinbad is really good for this boss because he protects your team by the attack debuff onto the boss. So Smokey is less likely to die. And also he causes your team to deal more damage to the boss. But don't worry, if you don't have Sinbad, there is another team that we'll show after this, which is basically a free-to-play friendly team using Sonja, but she could work even at one copy. You don't even have to have her at Mythic Plus. And if you don't have Sonja completely, then we're going to show a final team which doesn't use Sonja at all. And all of these should be enough for you to get all of the maximum rewards. And again, don't worry about like the ranking leaderboard. You don't get any rewards for that in this Titan Reaver. It's just for like your own satisfaction kind of. Okay. As for the charms, now the really important ones here are Shakira, of course, with the Mystic charms. Smokey with any skill power oriented charms. And then Sonja with the arcane charms. If possible, those are the most important for the previous round. Okay, looking at this round, we have Taylene, who should ideally be on blast charms, but as you can tell, she's not going to be casting her ultimate that much because she's going to get silenced a lot. Gale charms for OD if possible. And then for Mikola, any skill power charms to increase her attack buff for her team, and then sorcery charms onto Lily May. The RNG for this second fight is going to be how many times Lily May is able to dodge the Yeti cell from the boss. And I think the RNG so far has not been good. I don't know if we dodged it at all, but it will depend on like the positioning and having Mikola haste buff the Lily May, for example. Okay, but we're gonna end up with a really good score. This is like 600 million from here, and then another, I guess, bit over 600 million on the first one. Actually, I think the top score for today was around 1.3 billion, maybe. Yeah, I definitely don't think we got the top score, but let's share this. And taking a look at the damage chart, Sinbad did a lot along with Sonja, and then in the second team, it is Taylene did a lot, even though she basically is countered by this boss because of the silence. And we're going to claim these rewards. Let's see what percentage we are. 99.92 with that. Yeah, so that is basically the top team. Now we're going to take a look at the next best option, which is this one, the free-to-play version with Sonja. And you can run Sonja even if she is at one copy in this team, but you should have your Shakira at plus 10 exclusive equipment. That is important. And the second team is going to be using damage dealers, which hopefully you guys have built up. If you can get Mikola to Supreme Plus, it will do better, but you can try it before that, and she should be doing fine enough for you to get a good score. So we're going to watch this replay, and then we're going to look at the fully free-to-play team. But all of them are using Rainier at Mythic Plus, mainly because in Snow Stomper specifically, Odie gets value by being position swapped. But if you have to replace Rainier if you don't have him, then Thorn is usually a good replacement option because Thorn also provides a debuff onto the boss, Soul Plunder, which causes the boss to take more damage, like Rainier's debuff, but a little bit weaker. But you don't get then the position swap. Okay. But really, the position swap is only valuable if you have heroes to buff up your front line. Like Shakir, for example, which is not being run in the second team, or Mikola, which Mikola is being run, but if she's gonna get, like, if she's not Supreme Plus, she's not gonna have permanent uptime of the haste anyway, and then it probably wouldn't matter as much even if you pass on the Rainier. Okay, so this is also a great team, and basically without Sinbad, getting 550 million just basically with Sonja. And she could work at 1 copy because her Mythic Plus is not important for bosses because no one is dying in the boss fights. So you don't need to have that enhancement. Okay, great. Lily May was able to dodge. Oh no, wait, she wasn't. The Yeti Cell went off on Odie instead. But yeah, this is why the position swap Odie is good, is because he's going to be permanently buffed up with the haste of Mikola that increases his power. If you had like Thorin instead of Rainier here, then that's going to be a bit bad. And also the other thing is that whenever the Yeti Cell goes off on Odie, it's quicker for your team to clear it if he's up in the front as compared to the back. So Thorin wouldn't be a great replacement, but if you had to do it, then just position your Odie as front as possible and also run the Thorin, because then even if Odie gets Yeti Celled, then your team won't have to run back far in order to clear it. The weird thing about Odie is it's always been the way that he always focuses on attacking the boss even when your team gets Yeti Celled. So in some ways that's good, but also in other ways it slows down your hero getting outside of that again. So a bit over 1 billion damage with this team. Sonja did a lot of damage. Okay, so because I guess Sonja is contributing a lot of the damage, you would want to have her high invested. Like if you ran it with 1 copy and she's just boosted up to Mythic, her damage will be lower because she won't have the stats of Ascension, she won't have the exclusive equipment upgrade. But I still think she would probably do at least 100 million damage or more, which is basically all you need. Okay, finally we have the free-to-play, almost free-to-play team from Convaleria. For the Lone Gaze, it is going to be this for team number 1 with the Arcane spell. So the artifacts are being switched up in this lineup. Up until now, the artifacts have always been Greatsword on team number 1 for Lone Gaze and Arcane spell for team number 2 on Snow Stomper. But now you have Odie in the team number 1 with Arcane spell, and you have Frontline spell with your more physical damage. Well, not even physical because you also have Lily May on team 2, but yeah, basically just Frontline spell for both sources of damage. Now, a lot of people will have most of these heroes built up. You can run this team even without having Supreme plus Mikola, and it will still get a pretty good score for you. But of course, if you can get Supreme plus Mikola, that is optimal for Snow Stomper. But even if you can't, she's still good because she will provide some healing, but more importantly, she provides the attack buff for your allies to increase their damage. And in Snow Stomper, you can't really run Smokey, so Mikola is your best buffer to be running. And this is the no Sonja team. If you didn't have Rainier at Mythic Plus, I don't know who you would want to replace here. Definitely I think a hero like Shakir would do pretty well into this team. Shakir always does well in Lone Gaze, and we're not running Shakir on either team right now. Alternatively, I guess it could be, well, Sonja if you have her, because then she provides like a buff. Basically, the heroes which replace Rainier Mythic Plus are kind of Thorin for the Soul Plunder debuff, or in this boss, Shakir because he provides buffs, or it can be Sonja who also provides buffs. And then you would want Sonja buffing up like your key damage dealers, which are Odie and Sylvina. Just keep in mind, Smokey is not a key damage dealer for pre-endless bosses, or Titan Reaver is basically like pre-endless level of stats on the bosses. And so HP per second damage is not effective against these bosses, and so Smokey's damage is low. So you would not want to buff him up with Sonja. You would want to buff up your like Odie and Sylvina in that team, for example. Or any hero which deals the most raw damage. Yeah, so it's going to be pretty slow for you to clear the Yeti cells onto Lily May. And then there can be some RNG in these fights if she's able to dodge. Like right there, she dodged the Yeti cell, and that is huge for the team. because that saves you so much time basically and allows you to get off more damage. And she dodges it again. And Mikola's Supreme Plus is needed for the dodges. Otherwise, the problem is Mikola will keep getting interrupted of her ultimate, and she will not have this permanent haste buff uptime. And the haste is what is allowing Lily May to do this dodging. Okay, but this got a really good score as well. So really, this is not a really too difficult Titan Reaver. Hopefully you guys are able to run some of these teams and get all of your rewards. All you have to do is get the 370 million damage to get your maximum rewards, and then you are done. You do not have to do any more than that. Here is pretty much all OD. Sylvina even hardly contributed anything. And in this team, it was basically, well, it was kind of even distribution. Mikola even did a lot with her Combat Fury. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That's going to be it for this one. All you have to do is get 370 million. And this is, again, I'm happy. Titan Reavers are great because they allow you to get all of these Branko essences to craft charms, which were so limited on the Branko essence. So that is good. But thanks for watching, guys. That's it for this video. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now. And thank you for watching.